It's time to debunk the myth that being a nice guy is the key to winning a woman's heart. We'll be diving into why women appreciate men who don't always treat them nicely, and why anticipating negative behavior from men is the norm. So, gentlemen, if you want to up your dating game and stand out from the rest, then this video is for you. Let's get started. Young love. It can be a roller coaster of emotions and mistakes. I can definitely relate to the story of being a naive BP male in high school and college. I remember giving girls all my attention, even when I wasn't particularly interested in them. But as soon as I started to have genuine feelings for someone, I made a classic mistake. I became a simp. I'll never forget my first girlfriend. I showered her with attention and affection, but in the end, she just got tired of me. It was a harsh lesson to learn, but it taught me that being a Mr. Nice Guy wasn't always the way to go. Women appreciate men who are confident and can anticipate their needs without being overly accommodating. And let's be honest, who wants to date a guy who's always available and has no backbone? Thankfully, I eventually grew out of my simp phase. I hit a growth spurt and suddenly became a lot more attractive to the opposite sex. But even when my ex-girlfriend came crawling back, I didn't give her the time of day. I had learned my lesson. Trying to please everyone and be a Mr. Nice Guy wasn't going to get me anywhere. I know it may sound counterintuitive, but it worked like magic. I was no longer the Mr. Nice Guy who tried to please everyone and avoided conflict. Instead, I started to express myself honestly and confidently, even if it meant being a bit abrasive or dismissive. And surprisingly, women responded positively to my new behavior. They found my authenticity and assertiveness attractive, and they seemed to respect me more. It was as if by being myself, flaws and all, I had gained their admiration and desire. Of course, I wasn't advocating for being disrespectful or abusive towards women. It was more about being true to myself and not trying to fit into some idealized version of what a man should be. And to my surprise, it worked. I felt more in control of my relationships, and I didn't have to compromise my identity or values to please others. In a way, it was liberating to be able to express myself freely without fear of rejection or disapproval. I was once convinced that treating women with kindness and respect was the way to their hearts. However, after experiencing heartbreak and rejection, I came to a realization that completely changed my approach. I discovered that being a nice guy wasn't cutting it, and that my best bet was to embrace my inner bad boy. Surprisingly, the less attention and care I gave, the more women were drawn to me. It was almost as if my aloofness and arrogance were some sort of secret sauce. But as I learned, this newfound popularity was fleeting. My ex-girlfriend, who had once ignored me, suddenly wanted me back as soon as I became the popular kid on campus. And like a fool, I fell for her again and started treating her with kindness and respect. Big mistake. I soon realized that the nice guy finishes last adage was indeed true. Girls don't want a good guy because they know they'll always be around. They want the bad boy who'll keep them on their toes, and who'll never be their plan B or C. It's a harsh reality, but it's one that I've learned to embrace. Transformation is what every woman desires. It's like a personal quest to turn a beast into a prince. They want to domesticate the wild and make it behave like a pet. However, it's not that easy. The wild animal will always remain wild, and it takes a strong woman to handle it. But when she does, the world sees the man as a hero. The problem arises when the bad boy turns into a good guy. Women can't handle it when a man is too sweet. They want him to treat them with arrogance and indifference. It's drilled into our minds from an early age that being kind and courteous is the way to attract women. But the truth is, it's not. Being a jerk always gets a reaction from women. Guys need to understand that almost everything they've been taught about attracting women is untrue. Women are programmed to react to men who fit the stereotype of an aggressive, masculine, testosterone-fueled guy. And this will never change. But the truth is, these traits can actually be attractive to women, as long as they are balanced with kindness and respect. Married people may not have the same experiences as single people when it comes to dating and relationships, but that doesn't mean they can't offer valuable advice. After all, they have found a partner and made a long-term commitment, which is something many single people aspire to do. So while it's important to take advice from multiple sources, including both married and single individuals, ultimately the best way to navigate relationships is to trust your own instincts and communicate honestly with your partner. Let me tell you a story about my personal experience. I used to be a simp, always trying to befriend women and be overly nice to them. But that never got me anywhere. So I decided to take a different approach. I started working on myself, becoming more masculine, and embracing the stereotypical traits associated with it. And what do you know? My life improved drastically. My grades were better, my social life was more fulfilling, and I had more confidence than ever before. Instead of having goofy friends who only wanted to hang out with me, I found myself being pursued by women who wanted to be with me. It was like I had become the treasure that everyone wanted to possess. The lesson here is that being a simp won't get you anywhere with women. Society might tell you to lower your masculinity, to be softer and more malleable, but that's not what women truly desire. You need to embrace your true nature as a man, with all the strength and confidence that comes with it. So don't be afraid to be a little arrogant or direct with women. Understanding the nature of women has been one of the biggest revelations of our times. Men have come to terms with what it takes to make relationships last and what it takes to increase their desirability and attractiveness to women. It's no longer about trying to be the perfect guy who does everything right or being a nice guy who treats women with utmost respect and reverence. In fact, men have realized that being a simp or a pushover is the exact opposite of what women find attractive in a man. What women truly desire is a man who is confident, assertive, and unapologetically masculine. Men who understand the nature of women know that being dominant and taking charge is essential to attracting women. They don't shy away from making eye contact or being bluntly direct, as these are indicators of a man's strength and assertiveness. Men who possess these traits are the ones who draw the most attention from women, not the ones who constantly seek to please them or cater to their every whim. However, understanding the nature of women goes beyond just being dominant and assertive. Men have also come to realize that women can often dominate dating and relationships, utilizing men's time, effort, and resources for their own gain. Men who understand this dynamic are less likely to fall into the trap of being used and exploited by women. They know when to step back and show apathy, allowing women to invest more in the interaction and ultimately become more attracted to them. It's no surprise that many men who have been severely burnt by women have chosen to go their own way and opt for a life of peace instead of being in the constant drama that relationships bring. But for those who still seek to attract women and build lasting relationships, understanding the nature of women is crucial. It's not about lowering oneself down or being softer, but rather embracing one's true masculinity and behaving like a man. As more and more men become aware of these truths, women may find it increasingly challenging to attract the guys they want in the future. Men who possess the ideal characteristics of a man, including confidence, assertiveness, and unapologetic masculinity, will become the true treasures that women seek. So, embrace your masculinity and take charge of your interactions with women. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.